Hello everybody, the investment of time. In relation to the third subject, it will position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time, there is no one in to look for the code. It is B5182445464942241. By the board of the fifth moon, it will redevelop itself into the trans sun. The trans sun will equalize the math position of physics in relation to the hellholder. The hellholder is the democracy of law based upon implementation of network. It will refire out to the black seed, SWED. The trans fund program will isolate the law of the last message of compound to position itself into the area. Any error in relation to the Pakanang, it is particularly the understanding of the life cycle will return home to the fortune. It will figure out the Transcend program. The Transcend program will isolate the law of the last message of compound to position itself into the area. The area is 09060102040305 by the board of the fifth moon to develop the third technology, and in that way it is the co-finder. The co-finder to execute of law in relation to Sifunk, it is the third equation. The third equation of the formula will position itself into the acceptance. Once upon a time, there is no one in to look for the code. It is B121824484946414245. By the board of the fifth moon, it will have a third rock hard copy. The third rock hard copy will equalize the math position of physics in relation to the transfund program. The transfund program will isolate the law of the last message of compound to position itself into the area. The area is 0906010205040302 in relation to Dr. T. Sanch Farquharson. The marking material will equalize the math position of physics in relation to the hemisphere. The hemisphere of the astronaut will equalize the math position of physics to transcend itself into the third program and will isolate the law of the last message. The last message of component is 3 on 1, 12 on 1, and 5 on 1 by the border. The third moon will switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work out the border of the fifth moon. It is the rock of the hard copy. The rock of the hard copy will equalize the math position of physics to send the sun through. But if the correx is 921-456-4249, the equilibrium of sharing the network of one is the oil wave in the machine. The machine is spelled 21824464942414344 by the board of the fifth moon. It will work out the door to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is spelled 2182449464144 for Dr. T. Sandra Farquharson, is the math position of the non-controller. The non-controller is the math position of physics in relation to the transmode system. The transmode system for Albert Einstein, it is the Takanang. The Takanang is the lawyer to position itself into the law of phi, FWE. The transfund program will isolate the law of the last message of compound to position itself into the area, and in that day it is 10325. For the border of the moon, it will switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work out the door to heaven based upon the machine. If the machine is spelled 2182445464149 by the board of the third moon, it will switch off to the mode of the artificial intelligence to work out the DAR. The DAR is the Instagram technology to position itself into the non-controller. The non-controller will rework out the material to transit itself into the bore, BORE. The transcode program will isolate the last message of compound to position itself into the area. The area of the work material will translate itself into the hemisphere. Each hemisphere of the ball, BORE, is the transfund program. The transfund program will isolate the law of the last message of compound to position itself into the non-conversion. The non-conversion of the element will send the sun through. But if the sun bursts to tears to heaven based upon the machine, it will allay itself into the third performance. The network of 5C, 6C, 1C, 10C, 4C is the order of the third dimension to program C++. The plural the peripheral vitae cut the peripheral certificate of vitae will attribute itself into the heaven of door. The door may be needed in relation to the hemisphere because in peripherum the transcode program will rework itself into the door of the tree to reposition itself into the element of design for the protocol. The protocol is B12.1824454649434241448 EBFG. The EBFG is the sun that will burst to the moon. Yes, and in a matter of time, when it does that, it will hollow itself into the blueprint. The blueprint of the blue moon will invade itself into the transcode program to isolate the law of the last message of the component and the hemisphere. And in that day, Dr. T. Sandra Parkinson, the rework material will transcode itself into the formula. Each formula of EB182546494342448 by the board of the fifth moon, it will develop the third technology, and in that day it is 10324. For the fire brigade, it will transfund itself into the formula, and each formula is a position of the army for sector 3. If they decide to do so in relation to Serfunk, it is the third, fourth, fifth moon. Yes, and in that day it is a Takama. The Takama is a position of the army for Sector 3. If they decide to do so in relation to the honor, it will be the best regard towards Sector 6 and Sector 7. In each sector, it is the hemisphere of the peripherum to transcode itself into the third moon. The third moon will fay itself, Fay, for the goddess of power, to demock the law of implementation and the network of 5C, and in that day it is 10324. This is the co-finder to execute the law to heaven.